everyone, so in this video I'm going to be talking about a Friends episode. The reason I want to do this is quite frankly because I want to. There's no other reason. There are 3 or 4 TV shows which are so close to my heart, I love them so much. So I've decided I'm going to start doing occasional videos talking about individual episodes because I want to delve into them more and share my views with you on particular writers and directors of the shows and things. Obviously, if you think I'm posting these too frequently, probably one a week, please let me know. All the Sabrina ones I do are on my Sabrina channel. That's Amy the Teenage Witch. I do Doctor Who ones already, and I'm now doing Friends ones. Obviously, I'm starting at the beginning. I'm starting with the pilot. This one is called The One with the Pilot. Although on IMDb, because I was on there getting information the other day, and it was called something like The One Where Monica Gets a Roommate. I've never heard it called that before. On the DVDs I've gotten that, it's called The One with the Pilot. So I don't know where it was called The One Where Monica Gets a Roommate. Maybe it aired that name or something. Let me know if you know any more information because I can't find out. But this is obviously the pilot episode which introduces us to the characters, to the cast and to what the show is about. It starts off with the 5 of them all talking and things and going about their routines and whatever. And then less than halfway in, we get Rachel coming in a wedding dress, all confused and in a flurry and wanting to stay with Monica because she's just run out on her wedding day to Barry. And there you have it, very dramatic, very surreal beginning to a TV show. Never have I seen a start of a TV show, a pilot before, that's so full on. You don't normally have a bride running in the beginning of a TV episode. It's quite scary, to be frank, especially when you don't know much about that character. So obviously Rachel goes and stays with Monica, and Rachel's very much spoiled. She's got all her credit cards, she doesn't really know how to live in the real world, and the rest of them are struggling to make ends meet. So it's very much a contrast of the 5 versus the 1, and how do they cope and things, and you sort of wonder, is Rachel going to stick around? Because obviously when the pilot aired, who knew if Rachel would be a permanent character? I can't remember what was my first episode I saw, but I didn't start from the pilot because I didn't start watching it until I think 2003, because obviously I was too young. I mean, it aired in 1994. I was 2. So I obviously knew Rachel was going to stick around, but watching it, when I watched the pilot, I watched it from a new viewer's perspective, and you sort of wonder if Rachel's going to stick around and fit in, and of course she does, and it's all perfect. I really do think this is a great episode because we get to find out just how insane the show is. Obviously, if you watch any episode, there are things in it which is so ridiculously funny and so outrageous. Like, for example, the episode where Phoebe gets a thumb stuck in her drink glass when she finds a thumb in her drink. It's like, when does that ever happen in a TV show? You don't see people on 2.5 Men going around with bits of their hands in their drink. It's really quite weird and absolutely fantastic. Fantastic stories and really quite bizarre and unexpected stories. So obviously for me the key thing here is the bride running in the pilot. It's kind of weird but really does work. It also introduces us to the apartments and where they stay. Big continuity error here. Monica obviously stays in apartment 20, but in the first episode, in fact most of the first series I think, on her door it says either apartment 4 or 5. I can't remember which it is. The guys have 4 and she has 5, or the other way on. But yes, there's a major continuity error there. But you sort of see just how much the interior hasn't really changed over the years, which is kind of nice. It gives a similarity between the first episode and the last episode, so I do like that. Obviously the cast we get to know a bit better. We get used to the characters and used to their personalities. We kind of learn because of Chandler and his phone story that he's a little bit, he's a bit of a comedian with a bit of a weird mind. Phoebe, we learn that she's a little bit crazy and things. Joey, you can see straight away, is a sort of stud, if you like, of the show. Monica obviously being the sort of slightly uptight one, and Ross just being Ross. Obviously Rachel and that have the whole history. Obviously Rachel was friends with Monica and Ross when they were younger, and Ross has always liked Rachel, and that sort of gives Rachel that connection rather than being just a stray character off the street who stumbled into the group. So I think everything in the first episode really gels together. We get a really clear message what the show is about without obviously giving a massive amount away. There's still stuff about the characters we discover in later episodes. It's directed by James Burrows, who I believe has directed 15 episodes. Please don't ask me to name them because I couldn't. But obviously if you've directed more than one episode, it shows that you're good and you've stuck around. Definitely a director I'd credit for the show because the pilot is so perfectly done. It's a great opener. Written by David Crane and Marta Kauffman. Again, the script is brilliant. So many, what I like about Friends, and obviously this episode as well, is the sort of, the little things that they put in there that really have no relevance to the plot, but bring in humour and sort of just build it up a little bit more. It's kind of like padding, but without being too full of air, you know, it's useful stuff and it is really nice. So yeah, the pilot is a great way to start the episode. There are some TV shows where I've like watched the episode halfway through, the series halfway through, and like it, but then I'll go and watch the pilot and think it's a bit crap. So I really do like the Friends pilot. I think it was a perfect way to start it. I really wish that I had been old enough even to watch the pilot when it first aired, or even if I'd just started with the pilot just to see how my opinion would be had I not seen the rest. Because I guess you have to take my views with a pinch of salt here because I obviously didn't watch the pilot first time. But I do see that it was a great pilot, definitely one that I think would make me stick around for the rest of the show, full of humour, full of variety, and really sets the foundations for the next 10 years. Please feel free to leave comments and things and let me know your thoughts on this episode. Also, people do this with my Doctor Who videos as well. They say, like, can you make a video on such and such an episode? Please do not leave me comments saying, please can you do a review about, I don't know, the one with the baby on the bus, or I don't know, the one with the thumb or anything. I will get round to them. I will be doing them in order because I get really confused if I start doing one from this series then one from another series. It just makes life easier to do them in order. But please feel free to leave comments and things otherwise, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!